First of all, I really appreciate your decision to join a coaching class for civil service examination preparation. You know, otherwise what will happen is that at a later point of your time, like life, you will realize that money can't buy you happiness. I'm telling from my own experience that many people who are working in the private sector firms or any other, even some other government jobs also, they'll realize that it's not about money. A few days before, I got a call from Tripura sub-collector, who is my best friend. We have done mains together multiple times, and he was telling the kind of satisfaction that he is experiencing at this point in his life. The thing is that he was telling, though he's not earning that much money, he was telling that, like, in our very personal discussion, he was telling that he earned around 1,07,000 rupees as his salary in the previous month. He was in service for past 4 years I think, and even after counting the northeast allowance that he is having, he is now earning around just 1 lakh plus. But I was thinking about the kind of salary that my colleagues now receive in their like bank. Actually, I was part of South Indian Bank, and I worked there for around 6 years, and I have resigned as a manager. But the kind of salary that my peers are getting now is to the tune of around 1.5 lakhs per month. Okay, but the kind of complaints that they are raising is about the stagnant kind of life they are having. Every day they are sitting in front of a desk and a computer, and they are having the same kind of life like for the past many years. Nothing is happening, nothing like kind of new things are happening. They are not able to interact with many people. See, actually, after completing my BTech in civil engineering from NSS College of Engineering, I got a placement as a civil engineer for the South Indian Bank to do their branch furnishing, their own corporate building construction, its design and everything. So I joined it as a probationary officer. That was my designation initially. Then over the period of time, I got promotions, and finally I reached a managerial position. But by then, I have started realizing that this is not my cup of tea. Just like you people have decided that we should not live only for us. Okay, you guys have not, like, might not have taken this decision to join civil services not for making some monetary gain. Okay, you guys want to be part of others' life, to do something beneficial, so that at your deathbed, at your end of your life, you will be having like many people praying for you, okay, for the blessings that you have done, for the magic that you have done, for the services that you have done for them. This is only possible in this kind of a service. This is the topmost service in India. Okay, other than that, there are political posts, but I'm not talking about that. By writing an exam, if you want to reach the topmost post of a country, this is the thing. But while working in the bank and all, I started realizing that I'm not happy. I'm getting enough money. When I was when I took the decision of resignation, I was earning around around 1 lakh rupees per month. So that means per annum I was getting around 12 lakh rupees. But I was having everything. I was having a posh apartment, I was having vehicle allowance, even newspaper allowance, cleaning allowance, everything. But I was not happy. So I just but meanwhile I was writing civil services, prelims, mains, multiple times I have written. My final ambition was this one only, but I was working over there. One day I was traveling to Chennai for writing IFIS mains exam, Forest Services mains exam. And when the flight took off, I was just looking to the airport area and other, and I have observed suddenly one particular thought struck my head. That is, I have observed one building. As the flight rises, this building is becoming smaller and smaller, as you know. And I started thinking, if I am continuing as a bank manager till around my 56-60 years of my life, I mean in the upcoming when I reach 60 years of my life, I mean in that age, I will be like completely dedicating my service or my working area. I will be restricting myself to this kind of a building, only one particular building. I will be stagnant over there. I will be getting money but nothing else. So in that flight journey, before the flight landed in Chennai, I have decided that I am going to resign. That was a momentary decision, but it took me many years to reach that particular point of decision. This thought was there in my mind from the day I have joined bank, but in that journey I have made the decision. Okay, like I'll go back, I'll submit my resignation. Then I have submitted my resignation. It had some process, it took some delay. Meanwhile, I got an offer from a charitable trust in Delhi to work for them as the director of their civil services department. It was a trust which gives scholarships for the minority community and to give them some aid for the civil services preparation if they are not financially sound. Since I had written mains multiple times, so I was eligible for that post. So I went there, I started mentoring students. So we'll be sponsoring their like expenses in Delhi to be part of some civil services coaching institute. We'll provide them fees, accommodation kind of thing, everything. So I worked there for a particular period of time. Then like from there I have decided that like when I started mentoring people and when I realized that they are getting benefited of my service, then I thought of like taking teaching as a profession. So finally I have landed up as a civil services mentor, faculty, guide, whatever you call. I think some people are counting my age now, by now, like, okay, 6 years in bank, then trust, then teaching. For your kind information, I'm still single, okay. So, actually when I was talking kind of this thing in one of my another lecture, one guy was talking to another one that, so he might be completely died, okay. But mother promise I have not even seen. I mean, not even seen means like that will be an extreme statement. I have even started using dye. Okay. So what will be the thing? The thing is that my friend who is working as a like civil servant in Tripura, he was talking about the kind of diversities that he is experiencing, being part of others' life. The people started coming to him and seeing like as their brother, like son kind of thing. So kind of affection that he is getting. So that's why I appreciate you that you, without wasting many years of your life, have come to a decision. And one thing I can assure you, you will not be wasting your life even in the going period of preparation also, because I don't know how many of you know this fact. Even if you feature in the list, I mean, even if you do not feature in the list, you are writing the mains, you are attending the interview, and finally you are not getting a rank. Okay, even in that case, you will be given appointment in many like PSUs of government. Okay, if you are like not having that much mark to feature in the final list of say 800 students who is getting one or other kind of service, but you are just below that, maybe in the like next 50 kind of number you are having your marks, you will be still given in PSUs, appointment in PSUs like maybe Steel Authority of India Limited, GAIL, or Petroleum and Natural Gas Corporation, any other thing. There are some posts reserved for that. So that is there. And even if you are not getting some government post like that, you will be hired by like corporates, maybe Reliance or Adani or any other corporate, Tata, because they are sure that if you are capable of featuring in that particular list, you will be having a knowledge about everything. They will use you to deal with government. Okay, as by representing them, they want you to be in a continuous discussions with government to like make their policies, strategies, plan their upcoming financial year, etc. So whatever coaching or training that you are getting as a part of this like career, you will be given a livelihood from this. So it's going to transform you like anything. By the time you complete the training itself, you will be employable anywhere in this country at a managerial position. So getting a livelihood from this kind of training is assured. So I just wanted to say a few things before I begin. So anyway, let's start with today's business, that is science and technology. You know, science and technology is one kind of a subject that will help you in getting your dream into reality at the very first attempt itself. You know what? It's a kind of subject where you will be getting around 15 questions, around 12 to 15 questions constantly almost every year. And the advantage is that you do not require specific knowledge about everything under the sun. You should have some common sense. But common sense is not that common. That's why people do not get some marks. Okay. But we'll train you how to use that common sense. What do I mean by common sense? We'll see that. With that sense, like sort of a common sense, to identify like what kind of answer that UPSC is expecting out of this question, plus the basic awareness about the syllabus topic. Basic knowledge about everything, not like in-depth analysis of everything. This is not a specialist kind of exam. They'll ask you about botany, they'll ask you about zoology, they'll ask you about chemistry, physics, everything. But even without knowing the details about these particular areas, you can crack the questions easily. That's my guarantee. Okay. So we should have a basic understanding about the things. Things means that we have already came across in our life through our school days, our college days, and through the newspapers and the general things that we see in our day-to-day life. With these things we can answer the question. That's guaranteed. Let us see. One kind of questions the science and technology topics ask you is the possibility statements or hard to negate statements. Before reading that question, you tell me, if somebody is telling you that there is a possibility of finding a particular kind of species at the unexplored depth of the ocean. Okay. It is specifically mentioned that at the unexplored depth of the ocean. That means nobody have explored that area. Okay. At that depth, there is a possibility of finding a species with this kind of a like feature. Can you negate it? Can you say that the statement is wrong? Because nobody has seen there, okay, nobody has gone there. That's why they are mentioning unexplored depth of the ocean. Okay. So it is a possibility, right? It's a possibility. We cannot say it is completely wrong. If UPSC is asking such a statement, what the candidate who reads that statement should think in his mind is that, okay, if it is an unexplored depth of the ocean, even UPSC cannot say that it is wrong. There is a possibility. Okay, because every day we are finding new species, we are making new inventions, new discoveries. So what if in future we find such a possibility of finding such a species at the unexplored depth of the ocean? And another way, if somebody is telling that, or if UPSC is giving a statement that there is a possibility of life to exist in a planet which is at this many light years away from the Earth, can you say it is wrong? They are telling that it's a possibility. They are not telling that there is definitely life existing another planet. If it is that, they are telling like that, it is wrong. Definitely means even that is not like sure. You cannot say that definitely life exists in other planet. But if they are telling that, if the statement is made in such a way that there is a possibility, that is called possibility statement or hard to negate statement. You cannot say that this is wrong. Okay, such kind of questions often repeat in science and technology. I mean, majority of questions are of this type. Okay, without having specific knowledge about life, whether it exists in that planet or whether the species is found in the unexplored depth of the ocean, we can answer the question. See one such UPSC question. Other than consider the following statements, they are asking about which of the following above given is true. Okay. Other than those made by humans, nanoparticles do not exist in nature. See, don't worry about the technicalities of nanoparticles. Just understand that nanoparticles means some particles which are of the size of nano size. Okay, in the nanometer size, like some particles. So they are telling that other than those made by humans, nanoparticles do not exist in nature. What do you think about that statement? This true or false? May exist, right? Possibility. Who can say that? Can UPSC have UPSC explored each and every soil and each and every nook and corner of the earth to say that this particle like do not exist in nature? Nobody can say that, right? Just think from the side of UPSC as well. Whether this could be said definitely by UPSC with some proof. If UPSC can say like that, then like we cannot like say that it is like wrong or something. But they are telling that other than those made by humans, nanoparticles do not exist in nature. Nobody can say that something does not exist in nature. Maybe in future we will find that. Okay, so possibility statements we have to like take decisions accordingly. So that statement is wrong. Now see, you have eliminated first statement. So A and C is gone. Now 3 is definitely true. Right, 3 is definitely true. Our job is now to see whether there is a possibility of 2 becoming correct or not. Just read it. Nanoparticles of some metallic oxides. See, this is the way in which UPSC like frames possibility statements. They are not telling something definitely. They are not telling the name of a metallic oxide. They are telling that some metallic oxide. Okay. Nanoparticles of some metallic oxides are used in the manufacture of some cosmetics. Okay, we are having n number of cosmetics. They are telling that some nano-sized particles are used in cosmetics. There is like no reason for us to say that it is wrong. It's a possibility, right? Yeah, it's a chemical kind of thing, or some particle powdered to nano size could be used in the cosmetics. So that statement is true. And so we got the answer now 2 and 3, but we will just verify 3 as well whether our decision is correct. Nanoparticles of again some commercial products which enter the environment are unsafe for humans. I mean, some nanoparticles are unsafe for humans. Okay, nanoparticles is not something that we like directly consume as a like plant product or something like that. Some sort of a chemical nature of some substance. That's why they are telling that it's part of some metallic oxides. I mean, it can be any sort of a chemical which is powdered to nano size. So they are telling that, they are not telling that all nanoparticles are unsafe for humans. They are telling that some nanoparticles of some products are unsafe. It's a possibility statement. So that is true. So this is the nature of possibility statements. Again, we'll see. It's a UPSC question. Again, they are asking about at the present level of technology, which of the above activities can be successfully carried out by using drones? They are asking about some application of drones. Where all you can use drones? First statement, spraying pesticides in a crop field. True or false? You can use that, right? Then, inspecting the craters of active volcanoes to inspect the volcanic sites. Possible? Then, collecting the breath samples from spouting whales for DNA analysis. Though the statement looks complicated, what they are asking is, when a whale comes to take breath at the ocean surface, you can like bring a drone out there and collect some breath samples. Possible, right? Right. So that's why all are true. So this is the possibility. This is a UPSC question. See how simple it is. Then again, this year question, UPSC Prelims 2023. Some microorganisms. You see the kind of every year back-to-back UPSC framing science and technology questions as a possibility statement. Many questions, not every question. I'll show you like what are the different categories of questions. Then some microorganisms can grow in environments with temperature above the boiling point of water. Some microorganisms, like they are not specifically saying about anything. So you need not have any specific knowledge about that. They are telling that there are maybe crores and crores of types of microorganisms in nature. Okay, billions of kinds. They are telling that out of that, some can like live in like such an environment. Then some microorganisms can grow in environments with temperature below freezing point of water. If you are accepting this statement, then there is no point in rejecting this statement, right? Same thing. Like, but they are telling that this is above boiling point of water, this is below freezing point of water. Like, just imagine, like if you are having any such doubts in taking decision in such statement, just imagine. We are having our Arctic, Antarctic, etc. glaciated lands. They are telling that there is a possibility of like microorganisms existing in that area, right? We cannot say that there is no microorganism like is gonna live in that area. We cannot say that, no? So that's also a possibility statement. Then some microorganisms can grow in highly acidic environment with a pH below 3. See that, like, there is a possibility of everything in nature. Okay, there may be microorganisms living in highly alkaline environment. There may be microorganisms living in highly acidic environment. If you are feeling any doubt in taking decision in such questions, just think from the side of UPSC. That can UPSC say that this is wrong? What if tomorrow one scientist come with a like finding that I have found at one particular volcanic site a kind of microorganism living at a pH below 3. So it's a possibility. So possibility statements normally cannot be wrong. Okay, so this is the nature. Then now another category of science and technology. I'm not telling that science and technology questions need not be like science and technology need not be studied or something like that. No, I'm discussing about the way which UPSC frames different category of question. Again, questions directly from newspapers. So normally what happens over these years is that there is a trend in which people started ignoring newspapers by depending just on the current affair compilations. Like, I'm not naming any institute, but there are some popular current affair compilations where they will be compiling everything, maybe in a 80-page monthly magazine or a 100-page or 110-page yearly current affair compilation. Not a single question is being asked from any institute's current affairs compilation over the last 3 years. Okay, you know, all the leading institutes compilations and resources UPSC is having is there in their hand. Okay, they know that these kind of institutes to do more business, to attract people, they are giving this short capsule kind of thing. If UPSC is recruiting such kind of people who have not done a single newspaper reading but depended on these capsules to reach UPSC directly, like without doing any labor, UPSC does not want such people, because these people will not be having any common awareness or common understanding about anything. You know, I can prove that. See, actually the thing is, if some people who have been in the habit of taking this current affair compilation and ignoring newspapers, you ask some questions from that compilation, they will answer. But if you ask them to explain that thing in detail, they may not be knowing. Simple example, why can't government print currency like whenever they want and do all the expenses they want? For example, Kerala government wanted to execute this thing, but Kerala is having huge debt problem. So central government and RBI and no other financial agencies supporting it because of the huge debt we are having. Why can't Kerala government request RBI or central government to print that much amount of crores of rupees to fund this project? Normally our answer is that, okay, because of inflation. Okay, inflation will happen. So that's why it is not possible. But this thing, okay, because of the possibility of inflation, this thing will not be like encouraged by RBI or any other financial agencies. But why? How can excessive printing of this currency lead to inflation? Demand of money will decrease or increase. See, you're supplying crores of rupees into market. Okay, you are printing, like you have a requirement. You need to buy cement for building a rail. You need to have iron ores. Okay, you need to have like laborers. You need to have many other resources. You need to purchase land for that, for laying that railway track and all. So for that you are pumping money. You are pumping money into the market. That means everybody will be having sufficient money in their hands. Okay, the people who are getting employed, they will be having sufficient money in their hand, and the cement companies, the companies which manufacture cement, they will be having sufficient like business because government is purchasing from them, and like whoever associated with it, whoever process iron ore, they will be having the kind of business, huge business. So all these people are getting money which is newly printed. So people's purchasing power increases and that will lead to inflation. Okay, when the things available in the market is limited, but everybody is like going to demand that particular resource. For example, you have 2 pen in the market and you have 1,000 people asking for that 2 pen, single 2 pen. I mean, just 2 pens in the market, 1,000 people wanted these two, like one of these 2 pen. What will happen? This production is not increasing like the purchasing power of people. Everybody is having money to buy these 2 pen, but only 2 pens in the market. Now, the person who produced this 2 pen, he will tell that I'll give this pen for the man who is able to give me 10 crore rupees. Okay, so because too many people came and demanded this pen, the value of this pen automatically increased. So normal people cannot afford this pen now. This is inflation. Okay, how the excessive printing of money for this particular rail project will lead to inflation? A simple way of explaining it is that normally without printing currency, what government do for meeting its expenses is that they'll go and issue some bonds or some treasury bills, kadapatrangal, okay, or they'll go and take loans from banks. Okay, so government is the major borrower from bank. Other than people like us, government is the major borrower. So for a particular project which requires maybe at least 50 lakh crore, normally government borrows this much money from the banks. So that's why money was not reaching to individual hands. So that's why inflation was controlled. People were not getting that much money because government has already borrowed this much money from the bank. But now, if government decides that, okay, I am not going to borrow from the bank, but I am going to print currency for my own purposes, what will happen? All these banks will have this much 50 lakh crore accumulated. Nobody to take loan from the bank. Only individuals, if you are going to take that, you will be taking for maybe 10 lakhs or 5 lakh, like that individual borrowings. Maybe even corporates, they will maybe 1 lakh crore or 2 lakh crore. But to the tune of 15 lakh crore, nobody is borrowing. That means banks need some people to borrow money, then only they will get the interest income. Okay, if people are not, if government is not borrowing, this much money is held up in the bank. For banks to sustain, they need interest. So what they will decide, they will reduce the interest rate, and I will ask people that, okay, you come, we will give loans at little interest rate. Okay, we will reduce the interest rate. So we people all will go rush to the bank and we will start taking loans from the bank. So everybody is having sufficient money in our hand. So now we all will demand everything in the market. We will go to the textiles and buy all the like beautiful dresses. We'll consume all high value goods. Like normally people used to buy like normal ration rice. Now they'll demand biryani rice. Okay, but there is an issue. There is a limitation in the amount of goods that can be produced. For example, in one particular season, only this much tons of rice could be produced because of monsoons and many other factors. So the production cannot be increased that like beyond a point. But too much money is there in people's hand to demand whatever produced in the market. So this leads to inflation. For a person who just read this one sentence from a particular current affair compilation, excessive printing of money lead to inflation. Can that person explain these many stories to a layman? So whatever you study in any subject, be it in science, economics, polity, geography, history, anything, study in this way so that you can teach a layman. Okay, for a person not in civil services background, to a layman, because once people know that you started preparing for civil services, now they will come. I mean, you'll start experiencing this. Your friends will call you when there is an issue. What is this thing? What is happening? You will be like, I don't know, like that. So it should not be like that. This is the reason why people fail in UPSC, in prelims, mains, and all. Just you need to have a common awareness or an explanation power to explain about things that are happening around. This year's UPSC prelims examination is an evidence for that, because they have demolished all YouTube videos, shortcut kind of things, capsules, current affair compilations, everything. Those who had a habit of reading a regular newspaper, those who have clarity in basic concepts. For example, like last year when I was teaching science and technology, I'll show you that we taught about ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. Jyoti knows that. Okay, so ballistic missiles and cruise missiles, the same thing that I have written in the board, that came as a statement this time, because that was about the working of the ballistic, basic concept or basic idea about that kind of thing. What is a ballistic missile? What is a cruise missile? The same thing was asked. Normally in current affair compilation and all, they'll tell you, okay, this is the new ballistic missile that was launched by this particular country, say Russia, or India has launched a particular this kind of a cruise missile, for example BrahMos, like that. But they won't be explaining you all the background information about this working kind of thing. But this will be asked by UPSC. Testing of the conceptual clarity and common sense and common awareness of the things that are happening around your life, I mean around you, surrounding you. So this is the way you have to see. So one question directly from the newspaper, like this was not there in current affair compilations because they won't give you this kind of every information because they are giving just 100 pages document for having all years current affairs. So they will miss many things. But if you are reading newspaper, these kind of articles come every time in newspaper. Like whenever we are having this kind of a mineral which is extracted from one particular part of the country. For example, these kind of minerals are present in the coastal tracts near the seashore and all. But the thing is that how it will be coming in the news headlines. When government is going to mine this thing from the coastal tracts, like fishermen kind of people will protest. So then it will be a headline. Okay, all media will go and cover, and that issue will not be there in like only in a single day's news. That will be continuing as a feature for many months. Okay, so wherever mining kind of thing happen, that will be a national news because that will be displacing the tribals from the forest land. That will be causing damage to the environment of sea. So people will protest, environmentalists will protest, they will go to judiciary, file cases, writs and all. So it will be in limelight ever. So even if you miss this article from one day's newspaper, you will be getting this news in the upcoming newspapers. So this will be a recurring news. What's the time now? Okay, 10:40 we'll take a break. Okay, every 40 minutes we will take a break. Okay, I know that after a particular point of time, like we cannot concentrate. Okay, so don't worry. So actually they are asking about, okay, ilmenite, rutile, abundantly available in certain coastal tracts of India are rich sources of which one of the following? Actually this is this year's UPSC Prelims 2023 paper question. So it was about titanium, but this was there in newspaper directly. So what I am telling is that nowadays UPSC started demolishing all current affair compilation. You don't refer any current affair compilation, just have a basic reading of newspaper daily. Okay, whatever be the time constraint that you are having, just read one particular newspaper daily. If you have no time today, at least read it tomorrow, today's newspaper, but don't skip it. This is the basic Bible for clearing UPSC prelims. Other than the basic knowledge that and classroom training that we are giving, you just need only one document, that is newspaper. Okay, again, about 3/4 of world's cobalt, okay, a metal required for the manufacture of like electric motors, I mean batteries of electric vehicles. 3/4 of world's cobalt is found in which country? This was in news. Actually, it's about Congo. So it was in news because e-vehicles is the future. Okay, in the upcoming few years, the petroleum, I mean the internal combustion engines, petrol diesel vehicles will be obsolete and that will be out of our roads, and electric vehicles, lithium batteries kind of things is the future. So there will be questions from this area every year, at least in the upcoming 10 years. Biofuels, decarbonization programs, electric vehicles, its batteries, the minerals that are required for manufacturing like these kind of vehicles and batteries, these things will be there in news. So it was about Congo. So this also came directly from newspaper. Again, about India's priorities. I mean, I'm talking about the questions, the different category of questions that comes in science and technology. Actually, before studying something, you should have an idea about how to study one particular area. It's not about studying everything that you see. You should, when you see a document, when you see a textbook, you should understand where to focus. Everything is not required. Okay, everything written in all textbook is not written, like not required. Just see the previous year question paper and what is required by UPSC. Understand that first, then only start studying. Okay, so our teachings will be in that line only what is required. So getting to know about what need not be studied is the first thing that you understand. Okay, then only what to study. About India's priorities, they are asking about green hydrogen. They are telling that green hydrogen
is expected to play a significant role in decarbonizing how many of the above industries?
Okay, they are telling that, okay, green hydrogen. Green hydrogen means even if you don't know any basics about it, you can understand that green hydrogen, and they are also telling that it is something decarbonizing. So by connecting that, you can understand that this is something like sustainable and good. It's not polluting kind of a stuff. Okay, you can understand that. Then they are telling
which of the following, which of the above industries can use green hydrogen
to decarbonize that particular industry.
Do you have any reason to eliminate any of these above things? Can you say that, okay, fertilizer plant can use green hydrogen but not oil refineries? Can you say oil refineries can use but not steel plants? If you can select one, you can select all, because you don't have any reason to say that, okay, this particular plant can be decarbonized by green hydrogen but not this thing. If you don't have any reason to say or eliminate one particular statement, accept it. Okay, it's a possibility, right? See, it's all about, see, this is how we have to get trained to solve UPSC questions. It's not about knowing everything. No people who made this question correct was knowing whether green hydrogen could be used to decarbonize any of these things. This is called common sense. Okay, that means green hydrogen, like you need not know about the basics of green hydrogen, how it is made, like what is its specific kind of thing. No knowledge about that thing is required. Just have a common sense that, okay, green hydrogen, and they are talking that it is something which is decarbonizing. Okay, that means if green hydrogen can be used as a fuel for working of any industry, we can reduce carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere, because they have in the question itself told that it is something decarbonizing. Okay, so if you can use that in one kind of an industry, you can use in any other kind of industry. So that's why all are correct. And the surprising thing is that they have asked the same kind of a question in the same question paper. This is question paper, and in the same question paper there was another question about green hydrogen. And the funny thing is that the answer for this question is this question. Okay, from the by reading this question first, you can solve this question. Okay, without knowing answers of both, by reading this question first, you can solve this question. So see, first statement is that green hydrogen is a carbon-free hydrogen. In the previous question, they are told that green hydrogen is used for decarbonizing. In the question statement itself, they are told that it is something which is used for decarbonizing, and here they are telling that it is a carbon-free hydrogen. So that's evident. First statement is true. And see, second statement, you see, it's a possibility statement, right? They're telling that there is a mission called, okay, National Green Hydrogen Mission. You need not know anything about National Green Hydrogen Mission, but still you can get the answer. National Green Hydrogen Mission aims to, okay, it is aiming something to help in the creation of demand, production, export and utilization of green hydrogen. That means Green Hydrogen Mission is for promoting green hydrogen. Do you have any reason to eliminate that? It's a common sense, right? You are introducing one particular mission in one particular topic, that's maybe for its promotion of its use, right? So that statement is true. First statement is true from the previous question itself. Okay, so both statement could be cleared without having knowledge about green hydrogen. So this is the way. One final question we'll see regarding this thing. Yeah, question that requires subject knowledge. So I want you to understand that it's not about solving all questions using common sense. Common sense is required to solve, and the kind of previous year question paper analysis is required to solve majority of the question, which you can solve without having any subject knowledge. But there are questions which require subject knowledge, and we have seen the titanium kind of question for which newspaper reading is required, not current affair compilation. And this is another category. They are asking about plant cells and animal cells. We'll study about plant cells and animal cells. These are very basic things. Okay, which kind of like a cell is having cell wall, which kind of like cell is having plasma membrane. These are some very easy thing, very easy thing. Just one one session, attending one session or just one basic reading of this fact is sufficient to cover this area. And science and technology is that kind of a supremely easy subject, which will be very interesting to you. Okay, and not only science and technology but even other subjects when you study now, that will differentiate you from the other set of people. Like when I cleared prelims for the first time, for the very first time when I cleared, And I was like on the very next day when I realized that okay, today was the exam, today evening I understood that okay, I'll clear this exam. Then next day I was going to a tea shop after my routine morning walk. Then I was drinking that tea and I was seeing like some people like having cigarettes and daily discussions kind of thing. I was having like feeling ultimate pucham for them. ഒരു പ്രിലിംസ് ഒക്കെ ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് നിന്നൂടെ കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ഫീലിംഗ് ഓക്കെ ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഐ നോ ദാറ്റ് ഐ ആം ലൈക്ക് I'm someone who is having some extra knowledge. I'm having some supreme idea about the things and clarity of about the things that are happening around me, rather than simply sitting and gossiping. I mean, you will be experiencing this thing. You can easily differentiate the understanding level, the kind of IQ that you will be developing after say a few months time. You can differentiate that when you are in a circle of your friends. The kind of things that you say, the kind of things that they say will be different, extremely different. So that sort of a 360-degree development you will be having. So with that, we have already seen the kind of questions that we are going to face in UPSC prelims, and now we will see what all things that we are going to study as a part of science and technology.
എന്ത് പഠിച്ചാലും നല്ല ക്ലാരിറ്റിയിൽ പഠിക്കാട്ടോ. നമ്മൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് മുമ്പ് കേരള നിയമസഭയിൽ ഇതുപോലെ ഒരു എപ്പോഴും നടക്കുന്ന പോലെ ഒരു നിയമസഭ സമ്മേളനം നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു, സെഷൻ നടന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു എം എൽ എ, ഇവിടുത്തെ എം എൽ എ എന്നൊന്നും പറയുന്നില്ല, പിന്നെ അത് വിവാദവും, ദേശാഭിമാനി പത്രം ഉയർത്തിപ്പിടിച്ചിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞൊരു കാര്യമാണ്. ആ വാർത്ത പിന്നെ ദേശാഭിമാനി തിരുത്തി. അതായത് അമേരിക്കയിൽ ഭയങ്കര ക്രൈസിസ് ആണ്, നമ്മളാൽ കഴിയുന്ന സമാഹരണമൊക്കെ ചെയ്ത് നമ്മൾ അമേരിക്കയെ സഹായിക്കണം, അതായത് കേരളം അമേരിക്കയെ സഹായിക്കണം എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ എന്താണ് ക്രൈസിസ്? അപ്പോൾ ആൾക്കാരൊക്കെ അമേരിക്കയിൽ ക്രൈസിസ് എന്താണ് കാര്യം നോക്കുമ്പോൾ, അവിടെ ആളുകൾക്ക് ഭക്ഷണം കഴിക്കാനില്ല, എന്നിട്ട് അവർ അവിടെ പട്ടികളെ കഴിച്ചാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ ജീവിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്, വേറെ ഒന്നും കഴിക്കാനില്ല. എന്നിട്ട് അതെന്തോ ഒരു ഹോട്ട് ഡോഗ് ഈറ്റിംഗ് കോമ്പറ്റീഷൻ്റെ ഒരു ന്യൂസ് എടുത്തിട്ട് അവരിട്ട ഒരു വാർത്തയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്, തലയും വാലും ഇല്ലാതെ ഒരു കാര്യം പഠിക്കരുത്. എല്ലാ കാര്യത്തിനെ കുറിച്ചും കൃത്യമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡിങ് ഉണ്ടാക്കി പഠിക്കുക. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ മറ്റുള്ളവരുടെ മുമ്പിൽ നമ്മൾ ഇനിയുള്ള കാലത്ത് നിങ്ങൾ ഈ പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ തുടങ്ങി കഴിയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മളിൽ നിന്ന് ആൾക്കാർ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഭയങ്കര റെസ്പോൺസിബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒപ്പീനിയൻസ് ആയിരിക്കും എന്ത് കാര്യത്തിനും. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളൊക്കെ പ്രിപ്പറേഷൻ തുടങ്ങിയ കാലത്തോട്ട് നമ്മളോടൊക്കെ ആൾക്കാർ ഇപ്പോൾ റഷ്യ ഉക്രൈൻ വാർ ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഓയിൽ ക്രൈസിസ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ RBI ഏറ്റവും നിസ്സാരം സ്വർണ്ണവില കൂടുമോ കുറയുമോ എന്ന് പോലും നമ്മളോട് ആൾക്കാർ വിളിച്ചു ചോദിക്കും. കാരണം അത് നമുക്ക് പ്രെഡിക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റും. ലൈക്ക് എവറിത്തിങ്, സ്റ്റോക്ക് എക്സ്ചേഞ്ചിലെ സ്റ്റോക്സിൻ്റെ മൂവ്മെൻറ്റ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഗോൾഡ് പ്രൈസ് റൈസ്, ലൈക്ക് പെട്രോളിൻ്റെ വില കൂടുമോ കുറയുമോ, ടാക്സ് വരുന്ന ബഡ്ജറ്റിലെ ടാക്സിൻ്റെ പ്രഡിക്ഷൻ എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും, ഇതൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഇതൊക്കെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും. അപ്പോഴാണ് ഈ സബ്ജക്റ്റ് നമുക്ക് കൂടുതൽ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആയിട്ട് മാറുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് പത്രം വായിക്കണമെന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അതർ ദാൻ ദാറ്റ്, അപ്പാർട്ട് ഫ്രം ന്യൂസ് പേപ്പർ റീഡിംഗ്, യു ഷുഡ് ഓൾസോ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് വാച്ചിങ് ഡിസ്കഷൻസ് ലൈക്ക് പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് ഓൺ സൺസെറ്റ് TV. Okay, previously it was called Big Picture. It was hosted by Frank Rosen Pereira, and I think somebody else is hosting it now. But these are very productive discussions. You will be having analysis about most of the things. And you watch Al Jazeera TV, that is there in YouTube. They are having some beautiful documentary about everything. The kind of issue that is happening in Middle East, Syria, like the migration from Ethiopia, Yemen, the earthquake issues related to Turkey and its aftermath. Okay, everything. See, actually UPSC is now focusing on Africa. Whether it's prelims or mains, they are asking many questions from Africa. So the kind of coverage that you will be getting from these kind of documentaries, that will be imprinted in our mind. It's not like we are having some basic reading about, okay, there is this issue between like Palestine and Israel and this kind of thing, and there will be like, if some kind of a tussle is happening between one country and another country, it's not required that they will be always asking about the bordering countries of this region. They might be asking about some missile defense system. Okay, when some kind of a missiles are weapons, is going to attack one particular country, how a country will be defending itself from that particular missile. They will be sending another counter missile to neutralize it mid-air. This is known as missile defense system. So when there was tussle between Israel and Palestine, there was question about S-400 missile defense system. Okay,
which was there always in like news channels and these kind of documentaries. Many kind of documentaries like that was done by Al Jazeera TV and all, like narrated it beautifully, like okay, how this thing operate, and it is very interesting. Like we'll be feeling more curious, like something else is coming from some other countries, maybe thousands of kilometers apart, and now we are any time before it enter the atmosphere of this country, it will be neutralized. How it happens? So this we will be studying in science and technology. Okay, so this kind of thing, it is like completely connected to our daily life. The thing that we will be seeing as current affair in newspaper, we will study the basics in class. So by complementing and supplementing the classes with newspaper reading, you will make your life interesting rather than the kind of coaching that conventionally people are doing, just sitting hours and hours in front of the books. No, that kind of situation will not work from now on, because the pattern has changed. UPSC demands people to have awareness about anything. So coming back, our today's business will be what all kind of syllabus areas that we will be seeing as part of science and technology. We will not be taking class today, but I just want you to get familiarized. Okay, what is the demand that UPSC is expecting from us as a part of science and technology? First, we will see about biology, and we will proceed to reach biotechnology. As a part of biology, we will be seeing about the important organs and its tissue systems of our body. We will talk about blood, different kind of blood cells, vitamins, okay, fat soluble vitamins, water soluble vitamins, the basic diseases and its defense system associated with it. For example, if one pathogen, for example a virus like coronavirus, if it is coming to attack us, how our body will naturally defend itself by using its basic mechanisms. So as a part of that, we will be studying about vaccines, the kind of vaccines that different countries manufactured and how these vaccines are used to protect our body. See, first of all, our body is having our own defense system. Without having any vaccines, we are defending our body from daily like fever, other kind of flus and other kind of any bacteria attacks. But when one particular kind of virus which is not familiar to the body, or one particular kind of bacteria which is not familiar to the body, which cannot be defended by our body's immune system, for that kind of thing, we need to inject something extra from outside to our body. That is called vaccine. We'll study about everything about vaccine, and these kind of things we'll be studying as a part of our biology related thing. We'll study about plant cells, animal cells kind of thing. Then we'll be moving to the most interesting and attractive part called biotechnology. So as a part of biotechnology, we'll be studying why do we having the similar traits like our father, mother or our grandfather, grandmother. What is that particular thing which is inherited from our generations before to us? So where is that information stored? Why our eyebrows looks like our grandmother? Okay, why our nose is like this? Why we are having this kind of a height like our previous generation? What is the reason for our eye color to become slight bluish, brown, black? Okay, why our skin tone and like body hair is in this pattern? Every information is stored in one particular kind of a genetic material called DNA. Okay, deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, so we'll study about DNA, where it is stored. First, we'll start our discussion from a basic human cell. In the cell, there is a particular area called nucleus. Within that nucleus, I have dissected this nucleus, and it is the version. Okay, when I cut open the nucleus, I can see a structure kind of this. But this is the kind of arrangement that is at the very early stage of the birth of a cell. When one particular cell is born, for example, when the sex cells of the father and mother fuses and one first particular baby cell is born, it will be having genetic material in a very disorderly arranged fashion. It will be like threads which are completely in a chaos fashion. But at the later stage, it will be properly arranged to looks like this. Okay, as a chromosome. I mean, this is called chromosome. In a ladder shape arrangement, we'll see that in a different slide. Yeah, it will look like this. The kind of thread that we saw in a chaotic fashion in the initial state, it will transform itself and it will slowly get modified and arranged in this fashion. Okay, one from father, one from mother, one from father, one from mother. Like that, it will be arranged. This is the shape. Actually, this shape is called chromosome. But the thing that is made, okay, this chromosome is made from this thread. This thread got arranged in this fashion, and now before that we used to call it as DNA. When it got arranged in this shape, we will call it as chromosome. Okay, we have 23 different pairs of chromosomes. It will be like this. Okay, it will be arranged in a paired fashion. 23 pair of chromosome means how many chromosomes? 46 chromosomes. That means 23 chromosomes from father and 23 chromosomes from mother. And in each of the chromosome, we are having different regions. Okay, you can see. Okay, we are numbering it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this particular area. Okay, one particular area we are taking. For example, 3. In that particular area, if we are zooming in, we can see that this kind of a ladder-like arrangement. Actually, all the genetic material that is present in the body, all these chromosomes, these are arranged in a ladder shape form. You can see this kind of ladder-like arrangement. I don't know why it is not, zoom is not functioning. Okay, whatever. Okay, this is the ladder-like arrangement. This is the nucleus. I mean, this is the cell. This is the nucleus. I have zoomed into the nucleus to see one chromosome. When I have zoomed into the chromosome, this is one thread of or DNA of the chromosome. When I have zoomed in, I could see ladder-like arrangement, step-like arrangement. Okay, I'll show you this thing here. Yeah, this is the thing. You can see multiple colors. This is the ladder that I have shown in the previous slide. And in these ladders, our genetic information is written. Okay, for example, this particular area of this particular chromosome will be having the recorded information of what kind of eye color should I have. Okay, this particular region, maybe you need not remember which region is for what. I am just telling about the basic idea. One particular region will show, like, will have the particular information in this ladder. Okay, this person should have this much height. One particular information will record what kind of a blood type we have, whether we have AB, O negative or A positive or whatever. That kind of information is recorded in one particular location of this chromosome. And each of these sections, for example, this section 3, that is called gene. That is called gene. So gene is a particular location in the DNA or chromosome of our body which codes a meaningful information. We'll study about this thing in detail in our classes. This is not a class, this is just an orientation class. Just I want you to like expect something, okay, in the upcoming classes. Okay, we'll be seeing about this kind of thing. So there I'll show how this information is written, like A, T, C, G, like kind of pairs where this information is coded. Okay, A, T, C, G kind of a pair. Okay, this is a ladder, and this will be like A, this will be T, this will be C, this will be G, and say A, T, C, G. A, T, C, G means for the body it means brown eye color. Maybe like A, T, T, C, C, G, G, like that. That for the body, that means that person should have AB as the blood type. But we need not remember whether ATCG is for blood color, eye color. Just have the idea. This is the way in which like information is stored in the body. UPSC won't ask whether ATCG is for what. No, nothing. Just have the idea that in these kind of ladders, our genetic information is required. So that kind of, at that level, you can close the studies. You need not have much like in-depth information whether ATCG code for what or something like that. Just know that the genetic information is written using letters like A, T, C and G. And A, T, C and G represents different chemicals. Okay, so these kind of chemicals are, for our convenience, we are naming it as A, T, C, G and all. And the entire genetic information in our body, whether it is our blood type, whether it is our eye color, whether it's our skin color, height, everything is written as a combination of these A, T, C and G. Okay, it will be in the permutation and combination of these things, our body information will be stored. We'll study everything in detail. We'll see how it is represented and all. For now, just have this much information. Now, this is the way we will be proceeding. First, a cell. Now I am zooming into the cell to see the nucleus. Now I have in nucleus, I have seen that the DNA is now arranged in a regular shape called chromosome. I have zoomed in one particular chromosome. I can see that there are this is the shape in which the chromosome of seen. What are these bands? These are actually the genes. Okay, where the information is stored. Okay, so now I have zoomed one particular area of the particular chromosome. Actually, chromosome is made up of DNA. When I have zoomed in, I can see that it is in this shape. Okay, this particular strand, actually when I have zoomed in, I can see that this is in a crisscross arrangement like this. Okay, and when I have zoomed one particular section of that particular DNA to see a gene, it is how it is looking like ladder like arrangement where the particular genetic information is written. So that we call as a gene, a particular section of a DNA which is having a particular code written for one particular trait or characteristic of a body, that we call a DNA. So this is the kind of thing that we'll be studying as a part of biotechnology. And you see, in the previous slide we have written one thing. Biotechnology means what? Biotechnology is the modification of genetic information using some technological advances. We are having some laboratory techniques and some enzymes and molecules which are used to modify the codes which are present in the DNA. As I have shown you, see, this is the genetic material. It's all about the modification of the genetic material or DNA. I told you that our genetic information is written in the code format. Okay, if it is A, T, C and G, now using some laboratory apparatus, I am cutting one particular part and I am inserting the part of my requirement. For example, at present you are a bathroom singer. Okay, now you want to be transformed into Shreya Ghoshal. Okay, now what the scientist will do is that will collect some cheek sample of Shreya Ghoshal. Okay, I mean, sorry ma'am. Okay, and in that they could see that which part of the DNA of Shreya Ghoshal is responsible for making her voice so sweet. Okay, so they'll observe what kind of a genetic information is written. Okay, it is CG. Got it. Now it will take your cheek sample and it will make this kind of a modification, the same kind of code that is written in Shreya Ghoshal sample. But this is not possible in this modification is not possible in a grown-up adult. This will be done in a baby stage, in the very first cell. Okay, when the sperm and the egg of our parents fuse and one particular, the first cell is born, this kind of a modification will be made. Okay, in the future this is going to happen. Designer babies. Just like we go to a shop and we buy the clothes of our requirement, you can go to a laboratory with your fused cell and you can tell that my child should bat like Sachin Tendulkar, should have captaincy like Dhoni, he should sing like or compose music like A.R. Rahman and think like Albert Einstein. Okay, this is my requirement, do whatever required, I am ready to pay anything. Okay. So they'll take the DNA samples of all these person and they'll make adequate modifications in that particular baby's genetic code, so that when this first cell, okay, this normally our body, how from the first cell our human body is created, this cell will undergo cell division. Okay, if you are making some modification in the first cell, all the upcoming cells will be having the modified format. Okay, the modified version of the genetic combination the upcoming cells will be having. So finally the baby that is going to be created will be having all other traits. But there are many ethical issues associated with, without the permission of that particular baby you are designing its traits. There are many ethical, but we are leaving that for now. So this is kind of advancements that is happening in the field of genetic engineering. Genetic engineering means what? You are engineering your genetic material according to your requirement. So that kind of things we will be seeing in the biotechnology related part. From that we will be jumping into space technology.
Okay, this is just an orientation. We'll be seeing this in very detail in the classes.
So space technology.
In space technology, we'll be seeing everything about the space. The kind of things that we use in space, like satellites. What are satellites? Satellites are the kind of space vehicles which will be orbiting other planetary bodies, maybe Earth, Sun, or other stars, and the kind of space vehicles which are used for doing research to do interplanetary missions. Like if you want to move to Venus, or if you want to collect some samples from the moon. Okay, so these kind of spaceships are called satellites. We'll see the working of the satellites. For example, how a program which is happening at a studio floor of one particular channel is reaching our mobile phone or our television. This is called this is done through a process called uplinking and downlinking. For example, Asianet is preparing a program. They have shot one particular stage program or something. They will be uploading that to India's satellite, and satellite will be at a particular height above the surface of the earth. From there, it will be transferring that particular information to our antennas, which are kept above the terrace or something like that. We are having now micro antennas for everything. So these kind of information transfer. So uplinking and downlinking. This is the basic concept related to satellites.